Dallas, Texas. We are going into our second winner's bracket semifinal match. It's North America with Optic Gaming taking on Europe's best in Splyce.
And Splyce has looked so good. They've been dominant all weekend long, but you're going up against Optic Gaming. Chris, have you ever played like World of Warcraft or any fantasy type games?
For an hour and a half, yes I have.
Have you heard of the mythical creature, the Chimera? It has 3 heads. It's part dragon, part snake, part griffin. That is what Optic Gaming is, but with a 4th head. That is Karma, just like bobbing and weaving on the side. They're scary, man. I've fought many a Chimera in my day, Chris.
That's exactly what I thought. Would you be able to take down this Chimera, though, if you were playing, even if we cloned you 3 times?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so, unless I had some magical weaponry to work with.
Optic Gaming has been lights out since Atlanta, where they fell to E United. There has been a fire within this team. They stormed through Paris. It got a little bit messy against Luminosity last night. If you remember back to their last matchup, they should have lost 3-0. Instead, though, they were able to power through, win a Game 5, and that's why they're on our main stage today against Splyce.
And what's really interesting here, Chris, when you take a look at the game modes, Optic Gaming has won 100% of their search and destroys. Splyce has won 100% of their uplinks. It's going to be a battle, but what's going to break this game for me has got to be the hard point, because that's where the teams are a little bit more evenly matched, and that's what we're going to be starting off with, and it's going to be throwback, buddy. This is going to be a fun one.
Absolutely. Dallas, are you guys ready? It's time to kick this one off. We are 9 seconds away from game number 1 in the best of 5. Get on your feet, make some noise. It's time to get this party started.
Well, we are going to start things off with Zero, the new man, the new addition to Splyce, and God, has he been a phenom, specifically in Search and Destroy, but he has backed it up with his respawn gameplay. And he's starting it off with finding one mid-map.
Talking to this Splyce squad, though, especially Trey, Zero, he said, I've been off to slow starts in game 1. So I don't know why, but it seems in the second half, that's when I wake up. And then game 2, I've been having great searches.
Oh, it's been absurd. I mean, the speed at which he has gained camo in some of the game 2s is just unrivaled by anyone at this tournament. It's been fantastic to see what he can get done. But now, on the other side, you have 2 in a row here for Karma, sitting at 2 and 1, tagged up from both sides. Somehow the Wizards staying alive for a bit, but finally will fall. But when you take a look at the scoreboard, it's all green wall to kick things off.
If you're just joining us in competitive Call of Duty, welcome to the party. This is Hardpoint. It's going to be game number 1 and game number 4 in our best of 5 series. The goal of this, you have to control the point. It's the first team to 250 points will win our first game. Optic Gaming, they're already up 18 and counting, but this is your next rotation. The big fight for the barn. Our European Splyce are set up first, and that killed from Jerd will keep them fortified.
And this will be interesting to see, because you talk about a team last night in Luminosity that's built to be slay heavy, to go up against Optic Gaming in the respawns, and you saw that they could. I don't want to hear that Optic Gaming played poor. No, Luminosity was playing fantastic in those respawns. Octane is back to Octane of old. And this Splyce team is built with a similar kind of pace, right? They want to be able to just hang with them in the respawn, hang in the slang. We're going to see if they can do it.
You talked to people in Europe about Bance, and he was kind of the breakout all-star from Europe last year throughout Black Ops 3. This tournament, he has played phenomenal. In their winner's bracket round 1, he finished with ridiculous numbers in the respawn. I'm looking for Bance to be a star throughout this series. Already, he's on a 4 streak. He's 8-3. Keep your eyes on this young man. He is potentially the greatest player in EU right now.
Yeah, he's absolutely a phenom, and we'll see as he's going to rack up the final seconds. We'll watch the rotation out. It's going to be heading to bike path as he's going to wrap by Lemon and look to get his eagle on teammate. Already picking up 1. Top tracks is going to be the place. He's going to back boss, tags up Karma, but wisely stays alive. His teammate follows it up, almost able to trade both kills there, but it's Scumpy inside, finding 2.
What a slide from Scump there. Jordan's going to be in. He's going to be scoring. And he does have a little bit of protection. Trim just picked off Vance, though. Now Jerd has to defend himself. Zero is there to help out with the kill on Karma. Somehow, Splyce holds on. Both teams going back and forth, battling down low. At the end of the day, it's Optic's Crim 6 coming out on top.
And this is a really, really big game 1 for Optic Gaming in the sense that, you know, you felt good about their ability to beat Luminosity in the S&D. I know we've highlighted their woes a lot, but this is going to be their toughest test in Search and Destroy thus far this weekend. So you want to get off to a hot start, get the early lead in game 1. As good as you've been playing in Search, man, this is going to be an absolute battle for you. It's Karma, though, in the back, lining up one and getting an assist on another as well, and that's 3 kills in the kill feed for Optic Gaming as they're setting up at Statue.
So, Maven, while we're still in our first round of rotation of hardpoints, let's talk big picture here.
Sure.
When you look at this matchup, best in EU going up against the best team in the world right now in Optic Gaming. How does this series play out? Is this a game 5 or is this a series that we should see Optic go 3-0 or even 3-1?
Well, when Scumps play like this, 18-8 on a 7 streak, you feel like no one can beat them in a best of 5. Like Karma said last night, no one's got a chance to take us in a 5-game series. But I do think absolutely this has the potential to be deep. This could go 4 or 5 games, and I think it's going to be the uplink. That is one on Precinct that I think Splyce can absolutely win. Again, they haven't lost it yet, so I just don't see this being a 3-0 for Optic.
Finally, Scump's gonna reload. After a minute of having about 15 bullets in his gun, he's feeling safe. He's gonna go for the reload, and that is something I've really enjoyed watching from this man, is he will go down to the very last bullet if he needs to. Always has to be ready for the pressure. Scump on that 7 streak, as you touched on, fully streaked out, will be our player to watch, especially in these wide open hills. If Optic loses control, he can instantly punish Splyce.
Ooh, finally gonna fall, but what's scary if you're Splyce, Formal's actually been your respawn KD leader at a 1.29 for Optic Gaming. He's only got 6 kills, and you're still leading by 30. That is the terrifying chimera that I described when you look at Optic Gaming.
Well, to be fair, though, he's only been in 14 gun engagements,
right?
As opposed to, like, Scumpy's 30 at this point. Formal is playing the slow roll. They're letting Scump once again be that active player around the map. Crim6 and Karma have also been all over these hills. It's been Formal's job to kind of change it up. No longer is he flying at Splyce. He's trying to pick them off from a distance.
Well, it's been an interesting dynamic, really, for this team, just from a slaying perspective. It's like a wide margin lead for Scump and Formal in the respawns, and then Crim and Karma completely take over when it comes to the search and destroy. That dynamic has been working for them beautifully. They haven't built too much of a lead. It's been Splyce really able to hang on despite the explosion from Scump early on. They're still very much in striking distance.
Big kills from Crim6. That 2-piece is going to open up the back. Optic has the spawn. Splyce is in the barn, but not for long. Instantly, Karma takes out Bans. 2 players challenging for Splyce. It's going to be Jerd threatening, but the flank comes in, and Scump in their back once again, picking up his 23rd kill, and Optic keeps scoring already to 120 to just 81 for Splyce.
Yeah, and you just need, it's like Splyce needs an energy injection right now or something. You have 3 players negative. Jerd, the only one really sitting up top at 17 and 16. Everyone else kind of getting slaughtered right now, specifically Mad Cat. He has to be big for them, especially as this series goes on, because speaking of uplink, he's been a big reason why they've been strong. He's phenomenal at Precinct.
Talking to Jerd before this game, I asked him, how do you feel you match up against Optic Gaming? He just shrugged his shoulders. He's like, yeah, pretty good, I guess. But he didn't seem to be super confident. I asked him, when was the last time we saw you and Mad Cat in a winner's bracket finals with international competition? He said it's been all the way since G3 back in Call of Duty Ghost. So if they can pull off the victory here over Optic Gaming and match up against FaZe later in that winner's bracket finals, that will be a massive accomplishment for these legendary players.
Well, unfortunately for them, they're running into Scump, who has just been destroying 29 and 13. He has 2 separate 7 streaks. He's putting up statistics that are just insane. What do you do when you're fighting against this? He's on pace to drop 40 plus. A magnificent performance from the King.
The Let's Go Optic chant has started here in the venue. Jerd, though, is going to slide through, punish Formal. Scump trades out with 0. And it looks like Scump is going to be fighting for control down low. Splyce trying to inch back in this game, but Optic constantly contesting under the bridge.
I still feel like this is like a Rocky movie, right? Where you see Rocky just weather the storm, just take the blows time and time again, and then do you have something left at the end if you're Splyce to take over the game? That's what we'll have to wait and see, but Optic still has not been to pull away and bury Splyce here.
Scumpy did use his Scorchers a little bit earlier, but has that bombardment, also has the Trinity Rocket. Look for it to come in on this hard point if needed. For now, Formal is inside with the K-Bar. Jerd is there to punish. Scump, is he going to use them? Yes, here they come down from the sky.
This is going to enable them to get the break. He catches one coming underneath as well. A couple assists actually coming through with the kill to go with it. And now you're inside and set up. Pushing out blue is Scump. Still a Trinity Rocket in. Reactive armor to work with, finding a kill on the outside. He's heating up, and they've got control here of the hard point.
There's a player right next to him at 0. Big gunfight won by Scump. Once again, now challenging the player on the hill. Scump is gunning him down. Bance is no longer scoring. You're going to see Karma inside the hill. 10 points remain, and it'll be Splyce with the scrap time, but Optic already setting up for this new hill in the mid.
I love this, man, but it's Zero trying to bring it back. They need him to go huge. He started to come alive a bit. 22 and 24, he has camo here. Shots a bit off as he searches down tracks for a kill, but he's got Mad Cat there to back him up. Another one inside a window, but Karma, with just an inch of his life left, wins the gunfight.
Bance was 8-3 to open this game. He is now 15 and 24. He has been absolutely shut down by players like Scub, who is nearing a 40 bomb. Bance needs to kick it up in the second half because you have Zero coming to life. Jerd is staying consistent. You need one more Slayer to cancel out the power that we're seeing from Optic Gaming.
It just feels like if you're Splyce, if you're the Team Talk guys, we're lucky. We're lucky to be here right now. It shouldn't be this close with what Scump has done to us, but they've managed to do it, and they're getting the scrap time inside the central hard point now. We'll see if they can get the final 15 points or so, and we've got all but a tie game, really, if they can pick up the remaining points. It's going to be so tight. These key gunfights with Scump in the back will be big. Able to win one, his teammates come through with a couple as well, and inside barn first will be Karma.
That's right, Maven. We're basically down to the final rotation of hills, and you're going to see 7 to 8 payloads coming into play. Optic already has 3 secured. Crim6 about to have his. Scump is going to use that reactive armor. Going for some big fights here in the barn. We'll trade out with Bance, but Jerd and Mad Cat are there. Karma escapes with his life for now. Formal continues to score for Optic Gaming. Just a 25-point game.
This is just an interesting game. You're getting out of Formula 20 and 20, basically even, but leading in time in the hard point. He hasn't had to do it all in the slaying department, as it has been Scump from the beginning till now, just destroying. But inside the hard point for the end of time again, just like we saw with the last one, it's going to be Zero and crew looking to pick up the scrap, and they just keep doing just enough to hold on as Zero finds 2 more.
While we're watching the action in the barn, I'm keeping my eyes on player number 1 on your mini-map. Keep your eyes on that yellow arrow from Jerd. He is winning the fights against Formal on the rotation. He's basically locked down that barn for his squad. Made everyone else able to focus on the entry for Optic Gaming, and now Splyce with a 7-point lead. They have stuck in this game despite 43 kills from Scump, and now Maven, they could potentially steal this one.
It's like I said, man, it's like Scump delivered the haymaker, but the haymaker didn't knock him out. They stayed in it, and now they're up 7. Swapping focus, though, over to Karma as he's playing back boss, trying to look over his teammate Form on the hard point. The shots are on with the NB4. There's one close. You see on a X-ray right below, tries to get the angle, but a little bit too tagged up. But the time still going the way of Splyce. They're inside and making every point count.
12-point advantage and counting. Splyce continues to score. Formal gets into contest. He's got the position, but not long. Instantly traded out. It's Mad Cat with the 3-piece, and he will have control of the final scrap seconds. And now, Maven, we are going to another rotation. Who is going to win this big fight? It looks like Optic Gaming just has one player to beat in the back. Formal's going to be able to pick up that kill on Bance. They are set up to score big here on baseball.
And they got the spawn at top blue, which is what they needed. Crim6 and Formal pop close, and they should be able to get the hold. Mad Cat's trying to push the top. Scump coming in from mid-map. Optic finding the kills, but Zero still here, trying to be a nuisance. We've only got 22 seconds on the actual game clock with how far this one's gone into it. Optic now looking for a lead change. They've got 203, and they are fighting for control. This one's going to go down to the wire.
Optic Gaming taking your lead, but like you said, 22 seconds on the game clock. We could potentially end this game before either team hits 250. Optic with a small lead, but those gunfights will secure them 15 more points. That is going to put them within striking distance on this next hill.
And look at the streak from Optic. It's 12 in a row for the team. When it comes down to crunch time, nobody does it better. Formal, 5 in a row, grabbing the remaining time, and now it's time to push out. You have Scump on one side, Formal on the other. The trap is in. Scump finds the first kill. Look at the clock. It keeps ticking down. They don't even need to get the hard point. They just have to play the time.
Absolutely no one in there. That means the clock is going to tick. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Optic Gaming takes this one 233 to 206.
And that is something we rarely ever see, Chris. It going to time limit, and Optic knew it. They set up at both windows. They have the trap there. All they're playing for is no one to get in the hard point. And what easier hard point to do it than the one top middle? They set up perfectly. Scump gets to the opposite side of the map early, and that was a thing of beauty. Optic get it done in the game one.
I can't tell you the last time I've seen a game finished based on time clock alone. That is just a testament to how close Splyce is in this matchup against Optic Gaming, even though they come out with the loss. Jerd, he had a great game. You had Zero heating up at the end. They know they're in this one for real.
Well, it's funny because we just talked about this a little bit, is basically we haven't really seen this happen at all, where they don't get to 250 throughout Infinite Warfare, whereas in Black Ops 3 on several occasions, like I think at times where it happened, but you get it here. What an insane game. Zero was doing everything he could towards the end, but really, I mean, it was Formal and Scump throughout the course of it.
What a great showing here on Throwback, one of my favorite maps to watch, and these two teams just put on a hell of a performance for us. Let's take a look at some of the numbers here as Optic edges out Splyce in the final minute and a half. It's Scumpy dropping 51. 51. You don't see 50 bombs very often, folks, and as close as it was, they needed every one of those kills, but look at baseball. That's your money hill, and that is where they shut down Splyce. They got a 100-point advantage on just that hard point. Ridiculous performance on baseball. Splyce knows it. That was their game. They came back. They stole the lead, hit that 200 mark first. Optic stole it back, though, and that's exactly what we saw Optic do against Luminosity last night.
And what I want to talk about, though, we kind of hinted at it. It's this key player matchup coming into Search and Destroy. Let's take a look at the G Fuel key player matchup. It's going to be Zero versus Crim 6. They have just had ridiculous Search and Destroy stats. I do not believe that is correct for Zero, because last I saw he was like a 1.65 and a 1.76 for Crim 6. So both of these guys have just been absolute monsters.
Yeah, and Crim last night was even above a 2.0 before that Game 5 versus Luminosity. His numbers throughout this weekend have been ridiculous, but Zero, like you said, a 1.65 most likely overall for this tournament. He has been their star. How many times have we seen him get multiple camos in this same game of Search and Destroy?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, it's a 1.76 for Crim, and